How many of you believe you're unstoppable? Okay, so that's about 10% of you. 10% of you. Now, how many of you are really unstoppable out of the ones that put their hand up? So less than half, only 2 out of the 6 raised their hand. So we're in an illusion as women. We're in an illusion of what we believe unstoppable is. What that means is that being unstoppable, in one sentence to me, that I have found with my clients in the past 24 years, being unstoppable is this: saying what you have to say the way you need to say it without needing the approval of no one. That's what I believe claims an unstoppable woman. Of course, there's many other things that are based on that. But when you can stand up for who you are and what you believe in no matter what, isn't that amazing? When you can stand up for what you ache for and not need anybody to say to you that's wrong or that's not acceptable, because it's all about being you. Who's more beautiful than you? Who's more real than you? I'm still learning to be more of me. I said to my husband today on the way here, "What do you ache for?" He said, "Peace." And I said, "Peace where?" He says, "In my environment." I can't fix that. We all have to fix, or not fix, because you're not broken, whatever it is that weakens you, right? So is it all right if I share a little bit of how I got into this business? The reason I'm in this business is because my husband was murdered in 1984 outside of our home. And it was the worst day of my life, but it was the best day of my life. Now that I look back on this, because I am where I am today because of the choices that I said I will never, ever make again. Those choices were giving up who I was, marrying somebody that I should have never married due to insecurity, giving up my dreams, and not allowing myself to have a voice the way I needed to have a voice, the way you need to have a voice. See, people think, this is what I'm told, people think that strong women are just born with all this strength and all this power. Yes, you're born with your personality, but it takes time to develop that. It takes time to develop who you are and stand up for what it is you ache for. And to be real with yourself, with your husband, with your parents, with your friends, with your children. One of the best things I ever did, and I want you to do this with your beautiful children and maybe your friends or your parents, is I sat my son down and I said, "This is only going to take 10 minutes, but I want you to forgive me for this, 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 and this." He goes, "What are you talking about? I want to forgive you for these things." It's all about perception. I had no idea that what was bothering him was not what I felt bad about as a mom. So what I want to show you today is the power of you. It's all about the power of you. And what I learned when my husband was murdered, I was an emotional wreck, at least for a year. And I was in the restaurant business for 16 years, and a new pathway came across my way. And you know how it came? At a garage sale. See, you never know how you're going to get what you want in your life. But this woman comes, and at that time it was a video, and she goes, "You've got to watch this work. This doctor's amazing how he's going to read your body." I could not take my eyes off that video. Then after 2 or 3 years, I went, "I'm missing something." Because it's not just the physical body, because people are saying, "But Dr. Rose, my shoulder still hurts." And I would go, oh, I don't know how to fix the emotional part. So I went and I learned how to do emotional work. Then I took it and changed it and developed my own. And that's what a lot of people do. You develop your own thing. So then I married a beautiful man that had physical problems. So I couldn't heal the first one, so I thought I'll pick a second one with different issues. Don't we do that as women? There's not going to be a third, is there? There's just two. Two's enough. You have to learn after two. I want you to know that physically, he had 1 foot in the grave. He was on 200 morphine pills a week for 12 years. That makes me insane to even say it. That should be illegal. But apparently it wasn't. And I had to let go of my anger over that. Why? Because he allowed it. He allowed that to happen to his body. My point is the power that he had to heal his body in 18 months after over 20 years of severe pain and 60 pounds thinner than how he is now. And that's my husband in the back, that good-looking man back there, who listens to me and apparently needs peace in the household. I would like to ask for a volunteer that would like to do some physical work so that we can show you the power. Yes, come on up. We're going to show you the power of the body using kinesiology. Kinesiology has been around since the 1920s or 30s, but you probably heard about it more through Dr. George Goodhart in the 60s. It's the study and the movement of muscles. Hi.
Hi.
Tell us what you do.
I'm a business owner.
And what's your business?
I own Snap Fitness in Vernon, and I'm here today with a booth for True Star Health.
Perfect. So what is it physically that you'd like to have done?
If you could help me with my left foot, that would be wonderful.
What's wrong with your left foot?
I've got what we think is osteoarthritis in one of my, the big toe joint.
Okay, so we're going to find out if she has osteoarthritis. So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is just put your arms out like this with your thumbs back. Keep your arms strong. Thank you. And then straight up for gout. Straight forward for lack of calcium. And this is the test for osteo. No, she doesn't. But I want to tell you something. Everybody is labeled with some form of arthritis, because if you have an ache or a pain or a joint pain, you're labeled arthritis. But you know what? That's not true. You have to find out what the core cause is. So you said your left foot?
Yes.
So we know for sure it's not osteoarthritis, and I know that was a simple test, but that's the beauty of your body. Your body knows everything. I am only trained to do this. She knows everything. So we're going to test her ankle, her metatarsals. No. There's nothing wrong there. Now there might be something that needs to be aligned, or it might be emotional. Oh. Uh-oh. See, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure she's open. Her energy's open because her arm came down, so that's good. But if I go to that left toe and I don't need to touch it, it's not showing up. So please put your hand across your forehead, sorry, and see if it's emotional. Whew. She has an emotional toe. How about that? Okay? She has an emotional left toe. What's the left side of the body? Does anybody know what that means? The left side of your body is your female side, and the right side's your male side. So the big toe, let's find out what the emotion is. Is that okay? Is that okay with you? She came for physical, but we have to do the emotional. Lung, heart, lung, liver, gallbladder, anger, resentment, frustration, depression, stubborn. Oh, it's stubbornness. So the left toe is stubborn about something. Let's find out what that means. Let's see. See, our emotions can affect any part of our body. It's subconscious. It's around success. It's around the female side of her choosing not to be stubborn to take the next step towards her success. The success of what? Where do you feel that you're not being successful the way you would like to be successful? In your relationship, in your business, in weight, in money, all these different beliefs?
In deciding what, I know where I want to go. I want my time and energy all to be in the health and wellness, but I have other responsibilities and businesses outside.
Okay. So did you understand what she's saying? She doesn't know which way to go. She wants to do strictly health and wellness, but she also has to support herself, right? Let's see if this is true. And is this true? Yes. Okay. So we'll do this quickly. We won't necessarily finish the belief, but we'll do it quickly for the amount of time that we have. Is that okay?
Sure.
We're going to teach her how to break a belief system using forgiveness. When you break a belief system using forgiveness, it goes at a cellular level. The only way it comes back is if you reprogram it. Your body knows everything. Her body knows everything. So I forgive my big toe. I'm kidding.
Okay.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
For believing.
For believing.
That the female power side of me.
That the female power side of me.
Is indecisive.
Is indecisive.
About claiming her success in health and wellness.
About claiming her success in health and wellness.
And breathe. I forgive myself for believing that I can't handle both businesses until everything works out perfectly. I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
That I can't handle both businesses.
That I can't handle both businesses.
So everything will work out perfectly.
So everything will work out perfectly.
And breathe. I forgive myself for being so hard on myself all these years.
I forgive myself for being so hard on myself all these years.
And breathe. I forgive myself for believing it's hard and complicated to be successful.
I forgive myself for believing that it's hard and complicated to be successful.
And I forgive myself for believing I'm not doing the best I can right now.
And I forgive myself for believing that I'm not doing the best that I can right now.
And I give permission to my body.
I give permission to my body.
To totally relax and be pain-free.
To totally relax and be pain-free.
While I create my path.
While I create my path.
Let's see if she accepts this. Does her body accept this? Yes. Does she need any more forgiveness, permission, choice, affirmation, anything on the female side, subconscious, male, fear, soul? She's perfect. That's a done deal. She knows what to do. We'll do some more later. Thanks, beautiful. Give her a hand. Give her a hand. Thank you. So I just want to share with you that sometimes your emotional issues have a physical connection. Sometimes your physical connection has an emotional issue. Nothing is more powerful than you. And I love this statement. And I don't know who said it, but I'll never forget the words. He was an author and he said this: people are where they are in their lives because they can't stand it any better. When they can stand a better life, they will change. That just hits you right in between the eyeballs, doesn't it? It's like, whoa. And you know what? Everybody knows this, but we don't like it, and I don't like it either. Which is this: you have to take 1,000% responsibility for everything that has happened in your life, because you are part of every problem and part of every success. We can't blame everybody for what has happened in our lives. It's okay to whine. So this is what I say to women. You go with your best friend and you have a talk and you say to her, you can whine 3 times about the same issue. Only 3 times. Then I'm going to say to you, what are you going to do about it? Then in return, you can say to me exactly those same words. You can whine 3 times about the same issue, then what are you going to do about it? Now you empower each other's relationship. You do not disempower them. One of my dearest friends just left a relationship of nearly 40 years. He's an alcoholic. And I was sick and tired of listening to the same story. How many of you got friends like that? Finally, she made a decision to leave. Why? Because of this. Women don't do much until they've had enough. Enough of being overweight, enough of a bad relationship, not having enough money. We don't do much. But she woke up one day and she had enough. And I'm so grateful, and I'm really happy there's caller ID. Because I didn't have to answer the phone all those times. She said the same thing over and over and over again. But at that time, in the beginning, I didn't know what I knew now. How many of you know more now than you did 10 years ago? Please put up your hand, please. Thank you. Anybody lying? No? All right, quickly. Let's have somebody who wants to break a belief system emotionally. Okay, come on up. So do you want me just to read?
Yes.
Okay, so we're just going to read her body. Keep your strength. Don't let me push down. Keep your strength. Now, sometimes when people are weak, there's a reason for that. She's okay. So let's find out what belief system she wants to break. Lung, heart, lung, liver, gallbladder, stomach, pancreas, spleen, kidney, small intestine, kidney. So it's in her left kidney. Let's see what it is. Keep your arm strong. Miffed, dread, paralyzed will. Is it her paralyzed will? Yes. That's beyond stubborn. The other lady was stubborn. This person is paralyzed with stubbornness. What are you paralyzed about? Do you have any idea? Because if you don't, it's okay. Your body will tell you. But I always like to ask the client, you know?
I just don't believe I can be what I want to be.
She doesn't believe she can be what she wants to be. Let's see if that's true. That's a total lie. That's a total lie. But, okay, so you're lying.
Okay.
Let's see why she's lying. Why is she lying? At what age is she with this belief? Conception to birth, 1 to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 5-year-old girl is paralyzed with stubbornness that she can't be who she wants to be. Now let's see, is this her belief? No, it's not hers. Whose is it? Friend, original family? Uh-oh, it's mommy or daddy. It's your father. Okay. Where did you see in your life, but this is the 5-year-old controlling her belief that it's not okay to be who she is. So what has your father got to do with that? Because the 5-year-old is controlling this. It's not the lady standing here, it's the 5-year-old girl.
Not sure. I know my dad is a little bit of a pushover.
Your dad's a pushover?
Yeah, majorly.
He's a pushover. To who? Like you saw him as a pushover towards your mother? Your mother was the controller?
Mom was the controller, yeah.
Oh, they should come live in our house. We'd get along. Because I'm the controller and my husband's the pushover. Oh. Okay. So you saw your dad give his power away.
Yeah, many times.
What personality are you? Are you easygoing or are you strong?
I'm very easygoing.
And would you rather keep the peace than fight?
Yeah.
So you're similar to your dad. All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
This is what I'm going to ask her to forgive. I forgive the 5-year-old girl inside of me for believing.
I forgive the 5-year-old girl inside me for believing
that she's so paralyzed.
That she's so paralyzed.
In her stubbornness.
And her stubbornness.
That she won't allow herself to be who she is.
That she won't allow her to be who she is.
Because her father didn't.
Because her father didn't.
And breathe. I forgive myself for using my father as an excuse.
I forgive myself for using my father as an excuse.
Not to be who I am.
Not to be who I am.
And breathe. I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing
that I need to shut down my power
that I need to shut down my power
because my father shut his down with my mother.
because my father shut down his power with my mother.
What else do you think she needs to forgive? You know the story. So here's this 5-year-old girl, had a very powerful mother. Father was more of a gentle soul, like her. So she had a belief system, don't rock the boat, don't ruffle feathers. Yeah. What would happen if you did? What happened to your father if he ruffled feathers with your mother? What price did he pay?
I don't know. He just never said much.
He never said much. Well, you know what? You don't say much, you don't get much. You don't say much, you don't get much. Somebody came up to my booth today and said, how come this person's treating me this way? I said, because you're letting them. They walked away. Well, if somebody treats you unkindly, you're letting them.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, with power. I forgive myself for believing I am my father.
I forgive myself for believing that I am my father.
I forgive the 5-year-old for believing.
I forgive the 5-year-old for believing
that she doesn't trust the adult in me.
That she doesn't trust the adult in me.
To stand up for her.
To stand up for her.
No matter what.
No matter what.
And breathe. I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
There's something wrong with me.
There's something wrong with me.
If I ask for what I want.
If I ask for what I want.
And even if people don't like me.
Even if people don't like me.
Okay. And breathe. Kleenex is $1 a tissue.
Thank you.
We're not done.
Oh.
Where are you going? I need a Kleenex, please. So what was the belief system that brought the emotion to the surface for her? What do you remember that she said? Do you remember what it was?
Stand up for myself.
It's about standing up for herself. When you stand up for yourself, I want you to know that it doesn't matter what personality you are, we all have to learn that. Remember when I said people have an illusion when you're strong? People would come up to me and go, oh, you're so strong, oh, you're so powerful, I want to be like you. No, you don't want to go through what I went through to get there. You can be like you and go through what you need to go through because you're on your journey, you're on a journey. But I don't want to go through what some of these women have gone through to be powerful women in Iraq.
Yeah.
Or in India. Or in China. I don't want to go through that. We all need to walk our own pathway. So I forgive myself for being afraid of my power.
I forgive myself for being afraid of my power.
And using my father as an excuse to stay stuck.
And using my father as an excuse to stay stuck.
And be the woman I really am.
And be the woman that I really am.
And breathe. Isn't she cute? Let's test and see if she believes any of this. Does her body accept this? Yes. Does she need any more forgiveness, permission, choice, affirmation? Anything on the female side, subconscious, male, fear, soul. Yay! You did great. Thanks. Now that's how smart your body is. Your body is amazing. It knows everything. And you know, that gets kind of scary sometimes. That gets kind of scary, but you know what's beautiful? Is that when you have an issue, you can actually deprogram your issues if you just remember to say a simple technique, which is, I forgive myself for believing, and then fill in the blank with whatever it is that's bothering you. And it can be anything. So I forgive myself for believing I have to be upset because the guy in front of me cut me off on the freeway, and breathe. I forgive myself for believing that because I'm going to be late, that I need to feel guilty, and breathe. I forgive myself for believing I haven't been the best mother I can be. And breathe. Why do you have to breathe? To get rid of the negative energy out of your body. Every single one of you, male and female, have huge power. But depending on your personality style, this is going to determine whether you ask for what you want or not. I ask for what I want all the time. I walked in here this morning and I asked for what I wanted. I tried really hard to be nice. Because sometimes powerful personalities, they're too much. You know, one person said to me, now this was long before I was in the business, about 30-some years ago, they said, "You're too much." I said, "Maybe you're not enough." I don't know where that came from. I wasn't meaning to be rude, but don't tell me I'm too much when I'm just being me. What they were saying, I think, is you're too much for me right now. And, you know, it's nice to be in people's space. So in my office, I had a gentleman who's opposite of me. He's a gentle soul. And he now actually does this work. And he would say to people, "You don't know what it's like to be in the office with Rose Backman. You're in a corner in a chair and she's right there. There's no place to go." But why do you want to go anywhere? Because it's all about you. It's all about you creating what you want for yourself. When you break these crazy thoughts that are in your mind, can you imagine what will happen? I have seen people that are physically ill totally heal within a matter of a week or two because they thought this was their problem, but this was their power. And you know what else I've seen? I've seen people that don't want to get well. When I met somebody last week who complained to me about everybody they went to. Nobody can help them. Well, that's not my client. I don't want somebody like that, right? Because what are they going to do? They're going to complain. This is all about claiming your power. This is about being real. This is about allowing yourself to be who you are without anybody's approval, without wanting anybody to love you, without wanting anything from anybody. Just be real. And you have to learn how to do that if you've given up who you are. How many of you have given up who you are in your life? Well, I know all of you in this room have. Some of you just haven't. At some point, we've all given up some part of us. Some part of us has given up. But I want to tell you, there's no one more powerful than you. And your brain is the most powerful frequency that you have. It has the frequency that is stronger than a cell tower and stronger than any radio frequency out there. You can create anything you choose. You have to ask yourself, am I willing to be committed to do that? Am I willing to do what it takes just to be me? And isn't that the most beautiful investment in the world? Don't you get the most benefits when you allow yourself to be who you are and to help yourself create whatever it is you want? The advantages are amazing. I know one thing, that I'm here because I changed my thoughts, because my husband helped me in becoming who I was, even though he was physically sick. And that's why I am where I am today, because of having that support, but also not being afraid, again, to be you. Thank you for coming, and I appreciate all of you being here. And it's amazing to see all these beautiful people that believe in the power that they have within. Thank you.